All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited that we're kicking off yet another Tiny Training series. This series is going to be on creating a culture that connects with both your staff and your families. And I'm really excited to share some great leadership tips, tricks, skills, knowledge. And I'm excited for you all to start sharing with each other as well and talking about some of your great leadership strategies that you use in your programs. As always, Tiny Training Series are here for you. Um, I'd love it if you all could just put in the chat right now. When you hear the word creating culture in your program, I'm very interested in what the very first thing is that you think of when you hear someone say creating culture. If we just all want to throw that in the chat, I'm going to read a couple, I'll pick a few while I'm letting the last few participants in from the waiting room here. While you're throwing in the chat what culture means to you, I'm just going to share with y'all a little bit about 0 to 5 Montana, who we are. And we are a bipartisan grassroots organization that is here. Our promise is that we want to stabilize and innovate and build the early childhood education system in Montana. And we want to do that so all families and communities can thrive. That is our goal, our hope, our mission. And so I do like to point out here that a lot of times people get confused when we're talking 0 to 5. So 0 to 5 Montana is this big overarching organization. And within 0 to 5 Montana, we have these few other organizations, Montana Child Care Business Connect being one of them. And that is the program side of our organization. So 0 to 5 kind of works on the policy side. And when you hear me refer to Montana Child Care Business Connect, you're going to hear me referring to us like that, specifically just to talk about the program side, specifically what Montana Child Care Business Connect is passionate about, what we want you to do. We would like to see every child care business in this state that wants to open. First and foremost, we need childcare providers. Second, if you want your business to grow, we want it to grow too. And we want to show that growth in a really good, easy, sustainable way. So we'd like you to create a really cool business that when you're ready to move on and to go to your next thing, that you might have something you could sell to the next person, or at least you would be able to pass off those children that you're taking care of to the next willing business entrepreneur who wants to come into the industry. And then last but not least, this is always my favorite topic. We want your business to thrive. Profit is not a dirty word in childcare. It is okay for you to make a living wage, and we'd really like to start encouraging that type of communication and talk for all childcare business owners in the state. So thrive away. We want to see you grow and doing great things. Before we kick off today, I'm going to talk about a really exciting in-person training. Yay, trainings are coming to you. We've picked and identified some small communities across the state of Montana that we are bringing an in-person training to you. So for all of you that are having a hard time uh, getting a project done. You go to a training, you love it, it's amazing, and all things are great, but then you leave the training, you go back to your office, you sit down and you just plop the pile of papers there and you say, someday I'm going to get to this. For everyone who's ever had a someday, I want you to know that this training is for you and we want you to come and join it. Our very first one that's kicking off on Saturday, April 25th, will be in Townsend, Montana. But this slide shows you all the other towns and dates that these are going to be coming to you. So it will be coming to a community near you. If you're a Billings person, we have one in Big Timber. We have one in Libby if you're up there in the Flathead area. So just know that we've reached out and wanted to do this for smaller communities because we want to bring the love to the entire state of Montana. And it's a great opportunity for us to get out into all of our communities across the state. So registration is open right now for the Townsend, Montana one. If you're interested in joining us at that day, the registration link. I will throw that in the chat for you guys. Put that up there really quick. Okay, so that's in the chat now. And that's coming, and you guys can look forward to it. Okay, well, this series is going to be a great one. I'm really excited to kick it off today. Just want to share with you kind of the outline for how this is going to go. Today, we're going to talk about how we attract families and staff with a strong mission. This is not going to be how to create a one little sentence for you. This is going to be a really deep dive in what mission looks like and what it is. Next week, we are going to tackle the topic of understanding the future of our program through vision and understand how we're going to look forward and look ahead for creating our culture and how that's going to be the foundation to all things that are important for your business. On April 30th, we're going to talk about how to speak our values and how to understand our values so that we are attracting the right families that are the right fit. And so we're attracting the right staff that fits with our program. Then on May 7th, we're going to cover bringing your culture to life, and we're going to talk about what living the culture looks like. Has anyone in here? I'm just interested, a yes or no in chat. Get ready to waterfall this, yes or no, in the chat. Has anyone had an employer that they've worked for that, they've said, hey, this is what my company is all about. This is what our organization is, but their policies, their actions, their conversations just didn't align with that. Have you ever had that experience? Yes. And if you have never had that experience, no. I'm so interested in seeing that. So many times people say that they have a culture that leans one way because they think it's the right thing to do, but they don't really live and focus within that culture. And so we're really going to focus on how do you lead with the culture that you're resonating with. And then that last one, we're going to talk about road bumps. We're going to talk about detours. We're going to talk about speed traps. How do you keep your mission and vision the destination? And that's really important because have you ever had an employee ask you a question, like really challenge you, and you're like, eek, that one made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not sure how to answer that. I think anyone in leadership has had that happen. But when you have a really clear mission, vision, and live by your values, it's amazing how you can use that for your employees, for your families, for your policies, and how to keep all of that kind of stuff together in a really important way is kind of our goal and our mission and our vision here. So I'm really excited to kick off. Before I start today, is anyone in the chat have any questions right now? Make sure I'm not missing anyone in the waiting room. All right. Okay, Emily says that culture to her is the feeling you get when you're in a workplace and how you are treated. How you are treated, that's a good one I want you guys to really think about. Steph says inclusivity in all aspects, in every aspect. I like that. Becky says community, society. I like that one too. Those are all good things. Values and community. Who's my Zoom user? Says Zoom user. Don't know. I can't call you by name there, but that's okay. Community is highlighted in here several times, so that's really cool. Awesome. All right. Well, let's just kick this off about today. What we're going to do is kind of reframe what a mission actually is in a childcare business. So for many programs, and this really happens a lot, a mission statement is something that just kind of lives on their website. Maybe it lives in your handbook and it sounds nice. You felt good when you wrote it. You were like, oh, I sound professional. Okay, I had to have that. So there it is, hit send. Can we be honest? Did anyone ever do that? They're kind of like, yeah, I should probably think about that. Yeah. Um, So at your like next level of leadership, we need to expect more from our mission. So we need it to be more than checking a box for licensing. We need it to be more than just, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do, so I wrote it, okay? Our mission statement needs to function as a strategic tool. It really should influence whom you enroll. It should influence whom you hire, and it should really influence how you train, and even kind of how you handle conflict, you guys. So, who in here hates conflict? Christy, I'm with you, girl. I hate it. I hate hate it. I hate it so much I won't even stand up for myself when I need to, right? Let alone hear it when I need to hear it from others. And it's a really true issue for childcare providers. Just going to say you're not in bad company. You're in amazing company. We all kind of do this. But if you really tie yourself to your mission and your values, it is so easy to approach what you used to think was a difficult conversation as a mission or a values-based conversation instead. Because sometimes we get off track. Sometimes we get in our own head, right? We get busy, we get thinking about stuff, and our employees do the same thing. Our employees start thinking me, instead of children, children, children. It's easy to happen in different stages and phases of our life. It does not mean that employee is a terrible fit for you. What it means is that you, as the leader of that team, get to reintroduce that employee back to the mission, back to the vision, back to the culture of your organization and what you want to do. And so when you have really clear mission and vision, it does make a really big difference. If your mission isn't actively helping you make decisions, in your business, then it isn't a mission, it's a marketing tool. I'm going to say that one more time. Everyone, really listen to this. If your mission statement is not helping you actively make decisions in your business, it's not a mission. It's a nice sentence that you put on your website. Okay. You used it as a marketing tool and it's not a real mission. Our goal today is that we want to build a mission that acts like a magnet, one that's pulling the right families and the right staff towards you. And just importantly, yes, we want to repel the wrong ones. So, can I have a show of hands? Let's do a show of hands. How many of you have hired someone and just been like, wow, what was I thinking? That was not a good culture fit for our organization. Look at how many hands are up, you guys. Look at it. Look at it. It is really easy to do that. And we can't be bulletproof with this one. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes people say all the right things in an interview, everything. And then they get in there and their words and their actions don't match that. Sometimes they're wanting to fit into your culture, but it's not clear enough. You haven't made it crystal clear for them. And this is where we're going to talk about your role as leaders and how that really can shape and form important things in your program. Okay. Any questions before I dive right on into this magnet? All right. These are 15-minute classes. So these are 30-minute classes, but at the end, I'm going to put up my contact information. And my job at 0 to 5 is to help you with anything technical assistance wise for business and for leadership. And those are the two areas that I am passionate about and can know about. So if you end up with more questions or you want a one-on-one discussion, you can book a time with me and I'm happy to help and to discuss. That's what we do. So let's take a quick look at what you're going to walk away from today, because it's not just about learning something new. This is really about changing how you lead and how you lead your business specifically. First, you're going to be able to clearly differentiate between a generic mission and a strategic mission. We are talking strategic missions today. And it really does matter more than it might seem. Many programs already have a mission statement, but it's not actually doing anything. By the end of today, you're going to be able to recognize whether your mission is just words or whether it's actually functioning as a tool in your business. Okay. Then the second thing you want to walk away from today with is to analyze your current mission for clarity and alignment. This is where we really get honest. Does your mission truly reflect the families that you want to serve and the staff you want to attract? That's what I want your mission to do, is those two things. Okay, families and staff. Or is it just really broad? Is it too broad? When you have clarity, it starts to shift your enrollment and your hiring outcomes, and the alignment is life-changing for your business. So we'll talk about that a little bit more too. And then third, you're going to apply simple but powerful three-part framework to either build or redefine your mission. This is going to give you structure so you're not guessing. You'll have a clear way to articulate who you serve, the transformation that you provide, and what makes your program different. And lastly, you're going to begin to evaluate your business decisions through your mission. This is where things really change. Instead of second guessing decisions or reacting in the moment because a parent said something or a staff member said something, you start using your mission as a filter, especially when it comes to enrolling families and hiring staff. That shift from having a mission to actually using your mission is what moves you into that more strategic level of business leadership. Cool. TDS guy, sorry. All right. So why does a mission matter? Let's talk about mission from a business standpoint, not just a philosophical one. Okay. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that their mission is, I'm Montessori based or I'm this based. And that's a philosophy and that's really important, but it's not your mission. Okay. First thing you want to think about is that your mission attracts aligned families. Okay. Families today are not just looking for care, they're looking for alignment with their parenting values. When your mission is clear, those families can recognize themselves in your program before they even walk through your door. So they don't even have to waste your time with a tour if you can get that mission out and get it clear to parents and employees that are applying for work with you. The second thing it does is that it filters out the poor fit, okay? This is really critical, you guys. Many childcare challenges like late payments, policy pushbacks, constant complaints, they actually come from misaligned expectations. And a strong mission prevents those mismatches on the front end so you don't have to waste all your time dealing with it day to day. And third, it kind of guides hiring decisions. Instead of hiring based on availability or desperation, we don't believe in warm body syndrome here. Okay. You're not helping your already overworked, amazing staff by throwing a warm body into your business. Okay. You need the right body in there. So having the right mission is going to help you find the right person for that. This is one of the fastest ways that you can improve retention. And then fourth, it reduces staff turnover. People stay longer, and there's lots of data out there that's really important like that. Environments where they feel connected to a purpose, an employee is going to stay much longer. When your mission is clear, and I want to re-emphasize that word clear, and consistently reinforced, not just in their onboarding paperwork, not just on their hiring paperwork. When it's consistently reinforced, staff understand and feel connected to their work, and they become passionate about it, and they understand why it matters. So it isn't just about clarity, it's about profitability, it's about retention, and my favorite thing that I want you all to do, it's about sustainability, keeping your doors open, okay? Because when we have that constant turnover loop, what happens? How many times in the last 5 years, if you thought about in the last 3 to 5 years that you've been open, gosh, I can't keep staff, maybe I need to close my doors. Yeah, it's a very common thought. Okay. My hope is that we're going to start helping that. This isn't the perfect one size fits all Band-Aid, but this is a critical one that we really are missing in the childcare industry. So I really just am hoping that you guys can leave with this. So there's a difference, right? There is a difference between a weak and a strong mission and vision statement. So a weak mission, it sounds like something like, we provide high quality care in a safe and nurturing environment. Okay, I really hope that that's the bare bones. My daughters are of age where they're looking for the man to be their husband. And when they say things like, oh, he's really nice and he has a job, I'm like, that's not even meeting bare minimum requirements, girls, right? These are the bare minimum requirements for our childcare expectations, right? We want to be loving and nurturing and a great environment. That's really good. There's nothing wrong with those things. They're also nothing distinctive about them at all. Every single program could say that, which means it does nothing to differentiate you from anyone else in the market. And I just want to say this really clearly if everyone pauses and listens. My hope is that we start creating across the world, not just in Montana, credibility for your most critical industry. What you guys do is some of the most important work that ever existed. You're the workforce behind the workforce. And it's time you start getting the credibility that you deserve. A huge piece of that is showing stronger business practices, and having a really good mission statement is an excellent first step. A strong mission, on the other hand, is specific. It names who you serve, it names what you believe about children, and that's really important, okay? Be thinking about that. What do you believe about children? And it talks about how you approach care. So, more importantly, a strong mission um, is unstoppable. It helps you make decisions. Okay. You absolutely can make decisions from that. For example, if a family requests something that conflicts with your philosophy, your mission should help you confidently say, no, that isn't in alignment with what we believe in here. So I'm sorry, that's not what we're going to do. Okay. And because you've made those things clear, it should be easy to do. If a staff member consistently operates outside of your values, your mission gives you a clear framework for addressing it and makes that really easy. So, as we go through this, I want you to keep asking yourself, could I actually use this mission in a hard decision? Okay, that's really important. Could I use it if I'm doing a hard decision? If the answer is no, you need to redefine your mission statement, and it is okay to have to redefine it. Okay. So to build a mission that works, um, at a business level, we're going to use a simple, powerful framework. First, who you serve. Be specific. Families is too broad. Okay, that's too broad. Are you serving working families? Are you serving dual income households? Are you serving contract workers? Are you serving families who value play-based learning? The clearer and the more drilled down you get, the more magnetic your message is going to become. And secondly, the transformation you provide is critical to show. This is where many programs fall short. You're not just supervising children, you are shaping development. What is the outcome of being in your program? Is it confidence? Is it independence? Is it creativity? Is it social emotional strength? Think about what the outcome is of the children who are in your care. And then lastly here, what I want you to think about is, how do you do it differently? This is your differentiator. This is where you're going to set yourself apart from other programs. This could be your approach to play. This could be your relationship model. This could be your communication style or your environment. When you combine these three elements with your mission, it becomes more than just a statement. It becomes a positioning tool in your market. And that's so powerful. It will resonate with families. An example of that would be like this, okay? Helping working families, that's the who, okay? Helping working families raise confident, creative children through play-based, relationship-driven care. So the who in here, working families. The transformation, raise confident, creative children. The differentiator, you do this through play-based, relationship-driven care. Does that make sense? One example of 100 options. So those are all things that I want you to think of. Your mission as a filter. This is where we move from theory into leadership practice. Your mission should function as a filter, a decision-making shortcut that keeps your business aligned. When a new family tours your program, you should be mentally asking, do they align with our mission? Not just, do we have space? Okay, we're not just filling a slot, we're seeing if they're a good fit. When you're hiring, the question becomes, does this person believe what we believe about children and families? And when you're making operational decisions and policies, schedules, curriculum changes, you ask, does this move us closer to or further from our mission? Really important to tie your actions back to that important mission. This level of clarity is going to reduce decision fatigue. Instead of consistently second guessing yourself, and I talk to many of you, you second guessers throw yourselves under the bus. I talk to you on a daily basis. It will stop, it will reduce some of that. So it will help you look through things with a more consistent lens and help you evaluate quicker and faster. And over time, it's going to create a program that feels cohesive, intentional, and trustworthy. And that will happen for both families and staff. Okay. And as we close today, I just really want to leave you with this idea that a strong mission, first and foremost, creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. You can confidently say no to something that doesn't align to your mission. You can say no to parents, you can say no to staff. And I'm telling you, it's powerful, you guys. When your mission is clear, you're going to stop trying to be everything to everyone. You're going to become more decisive, you're going to be more consistent, and ultimately, you'll be a much more effective leader. And at the end of the day, that's what we're really working on. So here's the business impact of having the right families stay longer and the right staff stay committed to, and your reputation becomes stronger over time. So your mission isn't just about what you say, but it's about what you build from. And that's really important to me that you guys think of it. It's your starting point. From the mission will come a few other things. And one of those things we'll talk about next week. In our next session, we're going to take this a little bit further and talk about vision. Because once you know your core, who you are at the core, the next question becomes, where are you going? Okay. How many of you woke up today and said, okay, I'm just going to get through today. Just let me get through today. Just let me get through today. And then it becomes that cycle. Well, here, when we do it this way, we actually learn where we're going and we have that vision and we know it. This is my contact information. If anyone has any questions or would like to set up a one-on-one with me, I'm really, really thrilled to do that with you. We have a class, this Marketing and Community Family Engagement class, talks about mission, vision, and values really deeply. It's a 3-hour class and it goes through some ways on how to identify those things. That's this class over here, Marketing, Community, Family in your child care program. You can snap that QR code. It's a free course at CCT. I encourage you, if you haven't taken it, that you can take it. And then we always ask when we do a tiny training, this is so important for me. I want to make sure I get topics that are hitting on points that you're getting a takeaway when you come to these. So I'm putting the link to that survey in the chat right now, or you can snap a picture of that QR code. But if you just answer those 6 questions, it really helps us a lot with going a little bit further. And with that, I'm going to open up for questions. And if you need to get going, you are more than welcome to leave today. I am going to stop recording here so we can ask questions comfortably.